pill, but a program, again, we can see some miraculous, amazing events. And through the years, we've had some incredible testimonials. I'll go over a couple today. That is pretty mind blowing. But um, today's topic they wanted me to discuss today was allergies. Okay. But we can talk a lot more than just allergies with this formula. So, really, any type of upper respiratory issue, whether minor or major, whether it's just allergy reactions from mowing the lawn, whether it's allergy reactions from bee stings or poison ivy. But even if you have more serious upper respiratory issues, such as pneumonia, such as bronchitis, asthma, okay, all that kind of tends flares up this time of year. So we just, again, we have natural solutions. We're trying to get you all the benefits as the medications without any of the dangerous side effects. And that's our entire mission. That's our entire goal. So let's start with the number one formula that we would recommend for any type of seasonal allergy is called AirMaxx. So this comes in a chewable or a capsule. Okay, we would compare this to Benadryl, Claritin, any of those antihistamine drugs. Okay, but just it's a natural approach. So let's take a look at exactly what's in it. Okay, and when we break this down, we want to really focus on the ingredients because obviously that's what makes or breaks the formula, right? So one of the main ingredients in this is quercetin. So here's showing that quercetin by itself individually is the strongest natural antihistamine ingredient. But there are studies out there, folks, that even comparing it to a drug called cromolyn, that it's actually been superior than a medication for reducing these type of inflammatory issues. It's been shown to also help with all different types of allergies, watery eyes, so forth and so on. Okay, so a lot of people are taking quercetin these days. It's in this formula, but we don't just stop there. When you combine quercetin with vitamin C, which again by itself is a great antioxidant and antihistamine as well, with bromelain, okay, enzymes that are derived from pineapples. Those three together work better than just quercetin by itself, folks. And that we call this synergy. Combination of these work faster and quicker than just individual ingredients, okay? Then when you combine it with these other ingredients we added, the zinc, and we're using the most absorbable form out there from Albion. That's what that track refers to. We're combining with the patented trademark form of grapeseed, okay, called Activin. That also will help as far as strengthen your immune system. When you also combining this with elderberry, sambuca, right? A lot of people know about that for the immune system, and there is definitely an immune connection with allergies, okay? If we scroll down here, what else are we looking at? We have this patented trademark form of perilla leaf called Benegut. Now, perilla leaf is not a household name in the United States, but it's been used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years. There's all kind of research on this, folks, from animal, in vitro, and human clinical studies that helps with all these different types of immune reactions. Okay, so so we call this right here. So when we put these images and these symbols down at the bottom of the text sheet and on the bottle, this takes it to a higher level than just perilla leaf by itself. Okay, there's more research, there's more efficacy behind these patented trademark ingredients, and that's why we're using them. We want to get you the best of the best. And so that's why we choose to use those. A lot of companies do not. And again, there's the Albion symbol. TRAC stands for the real amino acid chelator. Okay. So when you put this all together, folks, okay, and especially in a chewable, it gets into the saliva, gets into the bloodstream even faster than the drugs. Okay. So what we typically see, if you take two, right? Take two, it usually works in 15 minutes or less. Okay. Now we do have capsule option. If you prefer caps, no problem. It just takes a little bit longer. It takes about, generally speaking, 30 minutes or less. Okay. So it's as simple as that, right? You can't make it any simpler. So we put together this new marketing piece. Okay. And we started this in April, and we've had tremendous feedback with this. So calling it the AirMaxx challenge. Everybody likes a challenge. We just encouraging people to come on down here, try take two. We have it right next to the juice machines, a bunch of other samples, but this one in particular. And just take a couple breaths before you try this. Try two of the AirMaxx chewable. Wait 15 minutes and then try to take some more breaths and see if you don't feel a difference. The majority of time, people see a difference, and that's why we're doing this. We want you to experience this. Now, even if you don't have any allergies, we would like you to try this, because so many times that I've met with new doctors at different clinics throughout my career regarding this formula. I said, doctor, would you want to try this? And they're like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm like, yeah, I know you're good, but I just want you to see what you think of the flavor. Just give it a chance. And they reluctantly try it. And within minutes, usually I can see them breathing better. And I ask them, are you okay? And they're like, wow, I can breathe better. I can think clearer. I'm like, well, I'm confused because you told me you were 100%. And then they start laughing. And, to me, this is the average person. You don't even know what normal breathing is until you try something like this. So that's why we put together this challenge. We're encouraging every person, whether you have an allergy or not, just to give this a chance. It's free. You have nothing to lose, right? And that's why we did this program. So everybody likes a challenge, and that's what we put together with this. All right. So now let's talk about more serious issues. Okay. By the way, again, anytime you can use this in place of Benadryl. So like I said, poison ivy, we've had many people try this. It works. Um, Not just your classic allergy issues, any type of skin irritation that's a histamine reaction. Instead of reaching for Benadryl, you can try this. Okay. And then recently, I had another really unique case with this. And this was one of my other accounts that, oh, question, yes.
She's been unbeatable without any environmental allergy, no lung issues. When she wakes up in the first hour, she's coughing like crazy. She uses 2 air purifiers and
Yeah, so environmental question. This could help. I'm going to mention another formula that's even a little bit more specific for that, and we'll talk about that next. But again, it won't hurt you whatsoever to try this. So if you're able to come on down this entire week, we have this available for you to try. But we'll know in those 15 minutes for environmental as well. Okay, so great question. And anybody else, just email us. All right. And we'll be happy to answer that for you. Okay. So recently I had a case with a person that's on a breathing machine, a CPAP. Okay. A lot of people have that, sleep apnea. And on their own, they decided to try to take the AirMaxx. Okay. So right before bed, 15 to 30 minutes before bed, took two of these. And on their own, they were actually able to get off the breathing machine, the CPAP, right? So that's another whole angle, another whole niche. So even I've had cases where people with snoring issues try take two of these before they snore, and that could help. Again, we have nothing to lose but to try it. But we would do that at nighttime, right before bed, with those situations. So even those kind of cases, you could try this. But the most the one testimonial, the case study that I had with this was right here. many years ago. I'll never forget it. There was a woman who drove like an hour and a half to get here, and she was real early in the morning. And she comes up and she's like, Mike, I've been in pain. I've been in pain for sinus pressure for almost 20 years. And I said, on the pain scale right now, 1 to 10, what are you? She said she was an 8. She's, usually a 7 or 8 or 9 for all these years. And has tried all different types of stuff, whether medication or nutrition. And I said, well, we're going to try this. We're going to take 2 of the AirMaxx and come find me in 15 minutes. And folks, it wasn't even 15 minutes. It was like 5 minutes. She comes running up to me, uh, tears of joy. She gives me a big hug. And she's like, Mike, it's gone. I'm like, what's gone? She's like, the pain, nothing, 0, right? 5 minutes, folks. Now, again, this is, a case study. This is one person, but this is a person who's been suffering for 20 years, so we're able to help her. And that's what it's all, folks. That's what it's all about for me. Again, there's all kinds of vitamins and pills you can take from anybody, but we're trying to change a person's life. And this helped. We were able to help this quickly. So this is one of the most rare, unique formulas out there that we can dramatically help somebody this quickly in the world of nutrition. And so it's all we can ask is to give this a chance. Now, what if it's more serious issues? What if it's asthma, which flares up this time of year, the hotter it gets and the humidity, of course, or more serious issues, bronchitis, pneumonia, COPD, right? All those are more serious. So the more serious it is, the more aggressive we need to be nutritionally in order to help that. So with the AirMaxx, with those situations, we would recommend 2 in the morning, 2 at noon, and 2 in the evening, right? 6 a day, okay? So again, you always want to think like that on those levels. So 6 a day, we will know in just a day or two if it's working, okay? If it's working by itself, great. If it's not, but it's helping, but a little bit, but not 100%, then we need to add more to the repertoire. We need to add one more supplement to the line, okay, to your protocol. And that is this formula, NAC, N-acetylcysteine. So this has been getting a lot of press in the news in the last year. Some companies have decided to pull it off their websites, some chains on their own, all right? There's talk with the FDA pulling this and making it a prescription. As of right now, we still have this, folks. And again, you never know with our good friends at the FDA. If they say we need to pull it, we need to pull it. But as of right now, we still have it. It is available here at the World of Wellness, right? So NAC is a fantastic amino acid, okay? And so it helps with all of these type of allergy issues as well. It actually is a precursor that increases glutathione, okay? And it, again, helps with stress, strengthen your immune system. It's a free radical, right? Helps support healthy lung tissue, right? And that's what we're doing. But it's especially fantastic for mucus related issues. So if you're having that kind of phlegmy type of lung issue, NAC might be a better choice. But if you're having those serious lung issues, like we said, the asthma, the bronchitis, pneumonia, things like this, then we would strongly recommend adding this with the AirMaxx, combining those together, bundling those together, taking it the same way to morning, to noon, to evening. Okay, so 6 a day. We'll know in one bottle of each if it's helping. It usually, when it works very quickly, usually within a few days. Okay, but once it's working, then we back it down. Right? It's just a temporary loading dose. Okay. Now, a couple other things about NAC that's not on this text sheet. Okay. Number one, for environmental issues. Okay. Or heavy metals, all heavy metals. Okay, so if you have mercury in your teeth, right, that's an issue. That's a metal, right? If you've been having any type of environmental exposure, okay. We work with all different types of doctors throughout the country, but one doctor in particular, his name is Dr. Michael Wald. Now, Dr. Wald is a functional medical doctor, but he's also has many other degrees as well, clinical nutritionist, chiropractor, as well as many other things. So he's very well known. He's a very well practiced in New York. Okay, but Dr. Wald has spoken with for us. He's done seminars for us, and he's been practicing over 30 years. And he said at the seminar many times, of all the supplements out there for heavy metals, NAC, N-acetylcysteine, taking 2 capsules a day is the #1 supplement to remove all heavy metals. Okay, so if it's an environmental issue, if it's a heavy metal issue, I strongly recommend taking NAC 2 a day. Okay, so again, it's available. Come on down, get it while we have it. You never know, folks, regarding this ingredient. Again, it's on special, a very tremendous value there. So that's where NAC fits. Now, if you have those serious issues, and again, AirMaxx, the NAC is working, but not 100%. Okay. At that time, I would add additional amounts of quercetin. So yes, there is some in AirMaxx, but some people do need higher dosing. And so if that is you, we would add this again to the program. Okay. Same dosage as the AirMaxx and the NAC, 6 a day, 2, 2 to 2, take it all together. And again, we're going to know very quickly, usually in just a few days, if it's helping. Okay, definitely within 1 bottle. We will continue to take that just as long as you need it to be at that higher level. Once things are under control, then we can start reducing the dosage. Okay, so that's how we look at this. Okay, now quercetin by itself has gotten a lot of publicity in the last couple years. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So this is found in the pigments of your plants, fruits, and vegetables. So this is what gives the color to all your fruits and vegetables. Unfortunately, you cannot eat enough fruit and vegetables to get the therapeutic level, the dosage that you need that we are providing here in a supplemental form. Obviously, we want you to eat those fruits and veggies, okay? But this takes it to a whole nother level. So with quercetin, there's so many different benefits of it. Obviously, it's an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. It helps with cancer, anti-carcinogenic. Again, one piece of a large puzzle. Also, and why it's been in the news a lot in the last couple years, antiviral. Okay. Again, what we're discussing today helps reduce all allergy responses. Interesting enough, a lot of people don't even know this. It helps with blood sugar as well and insulin sensitivity. So your pre-diabetics and diabetics, this might help. So this is how it works, right? It reduces the effects of histamine, stabilizes mast cells. Okay. Here's a study. Again, we talked about this earlier. Here it is a little bit in larger print, comparing it to that drug, right? And it helped do all the things that the drugs do, but was more effective, right? When I show this to a doctor, they've never seen a study before, right? And so they're just shocked that this exists, that there's research out there. But this is what we look at all the time, folks. There's tremendous amount of research on these. Again, just unfortunately, most healthcare practitioners are not aware, and that's our role, is try to help educate them and teach them. Okay. Couple other interesting points about quercetin. It can help with prostatitis. Okay, I would again do higher dosing if you have enlarged prostate issues, 6 a day. Okay, as well, and it reduces all these different inflammatory agents. And these are the same agents that the medications, the drug companies look at. We're doing the same thing, but from a supplement. Okay, right? So it can even help with respiratory tract infections. Great with athletes, right? All autoimmune issues and animal studies. as well. Okay. And it helps with the liver, right? So, fatty liver disease, whether alcohol or non alcohol, it helps with liver damage as well. So, the list goes on and on and on and on, right? With quercetin. But something that's not even listed here is that for virus issues, okay, the how viruses spread, okay, obviously this is very complex, very technical, but in a very simplified form, okay, viruses spread um, through the back door. So viruses attack through the front door. Vitamin D, if you have high levels of vitamin D, and again, even in the summertime, we recommend 5,000 IUs of vitamin D, okay. In the winter, be more 10,000, but viruses attack through the front door, as we call it. So vitamin D kind of puts that security gate on, right? Really helps to prevent that. And how viruses spread is through the back door, okay? And what we know is that quercetin can really help with the back door, okay? So it will enhance vitamin C. It will also enhance vitamin D. Okay. So, really important if that is a concern for you when it comes to viruses. All right. So, again, typically 2 a day would be the normal dose with quercetin just for maintenance. But again, if you have those more serious issues, then we really need to increase the dosage. Okay. So, whichever one you want to go with, or you might need a combination depending on the seriousness issue, that's how we look at this. Now, the whole idea with allergies and is not to be on these supplements for the rest of your life. That's not the idea. I always strongly recommend that you make an appointment here to see Jeff Nisnik. So Jeff is a kinesiologist, and he can actually test you to see what allergies you actually have, and he can do what's called reverse allergy treatments. And again, sometimes one treatment, sometimes you need 3 or 5. It all depends. But again, this will help short term, but working with Jeff can actually really get to the root cause of that actually allergy and really help. So again, just have to make an appointment, bring in all your supplements. He can test you for all of them. And again, he can see what's working and what's not for you. So again, he's your coach. We can make recommendations, but if you keep, um, keep taking or keep surrounded by the allergy itself, there's only so much we can do. Okay. By the way, the AirMaxx is also fantastic for pet allergies. And we've had people who are allergic to cats and dogs and have them themselves. And working with Jeff has really helped dramatically help with that. But the AirMaxx did initially give them that immediate relief. Okay. So we just want to point out that aspect. Okay. Always strongly recommend that you work with someone, and no better person to work with than Jeff Nisnik down here at the World of Wellness. Okay. Now, but if you really want to know like what the source is, okay, what is really going on with your body, why are you so reactive to these type of allergens, we really look at it from 2 ways of looking at it. Okay. 2. So the first way we look at it is adrenal. Okay. So your adrenal glands, of course, are your stress glands. And a lot of people are stressed out. And this affects cortisol, which in turn will affect your adrenals. So if we really want, if this is you, and a lot of people have this issue, then to get to the root of the problem is really focusing on your adrenals. So this is where the AdrenaMax works. So let's take a look at what's in it. All right. So first of all, it's an all herbal formula, and it also has mushrooms. Okay. So when we look at your adrenals, it's a very complex aspect of it, but we kind of compare it to a seesaw. So we call it the fat, pituitary, hypothalamus, adrenal, thyroid. Okay. And if you have adrenal issues, and classic adrenal issues are where you're tired, typically much all morning, all day, right? And then at nighttime, it shifts to where you can't shut it down. You're wired, you have trouble sleeping, You can't turn it down. Okay, that's classic adrenal fatigue. But we all have different moments of this when we're exposed to stress. But over time, that stress affects your cortisol. And it can age you, of course. I mean, look at presidents when they first start. And there's pictures, and then after 4 years, they've aged like 20 years in 4 years, right? Such a very stressful job. But just the everyday stress that we deal with, whether, job, family, financial, you name it, kids, on and on and on. We all deal with stress. Some deal with it better than others. So if you are stressed and you're having these issues and you have seasonal allergy issues, this might be the choice for you. Is once we help you with the AirMaxx, then what? This is the then what, using AdrenaMax. So what's nice about this formula, when you use herbals and mushrooms like we're using, it doesn't matter where you're high or low on that seesaw, on that axis, we call it, it will rebalance. And that's the key with this. So when you break this down, you have your cordyceps, which is the mushroom. And some of these have been used for thousands of years, folks, right? So you can use any of these individually. We combine it all into one to give you a really amazing synergy blend. Then you have panax ginseng, also called Chinese ginseng or Asian ginseng, used for since the 1st century. We have the Ruthococcus, which is Siberian ginseng. That's another name for it right there. We have ashwagandha as well. Okay, fantastic herb. We have rhodiola in there. All right, and then I think we have one more. Oops, go back here. Yep, licorice root. Okay, so licorice by itself, this is not Twizzlers, folks. This is an herb. It's been used for centuries. By itself, licorice is the #1 ingredient to control cortisol, right? The only challenge is if you have elevated blood pressure, then we need to cautiously, we can still take it, but introduce this slowly into your system. Okay. So generally speaking, though, what we would recommend for everyone with adrenal issues is 2 in the morning and 2 at noon, unless you have high blood pressure, right? If it's out of control, erratic blood pressure, if it's not able to control it either through nutritional or through medication, you can still try this, but just start with one in the morning, again, and just monitor your blood pressure. But other than that, and prescription blood thinners where there's no testing. Other than that, you would need approval from your cardiologist or PCP. But other than that, completely safe with any other medication. Okay, so that's one way we look at it, which could be the source of the seasonal allergies. The other aspect is GI, leaky gut. Okay, so if you have any type of GI issues, from minor to major, right? So we call them the ABCDs, right? Abdominal pain, bloatiness, constipation, diarrhea. Or you might have more elevated issues, acid reflux, heartburn, indigestion, GERD. Or you might have more serious issues, Crohn's, colitis, irritable bowel. If you have any of those issues, okay, we feel that's a leaky gut issue. And again, it can affect your allergies, believe it or not. Again, antibodies that are supposed to be inside your gut now are going out, circulating. Your body perceives it as a foreign invader, starts attacking it, and it can lead to a host of different issues, but allergies is one of them. Okay, so very simple. We have this fantastic formula called GI Complete. It's one of our top formulas, top sellers. We've had for many, many years. One of our original formulas. We have it in powder or capsule. Okay, we have it in 2 flavors now, lemon, lime, and raspberry. All right, but when you take a look at this formula, right, has high amounts of glutamine, right? The powder, 5,000 milligrams. Typically don't see that. You have arabinogalactin. That's again a crazy name that most people never heard of, but it helps bacteria in your immune system and in the gut. And you might have heard of echinacea. Well, this is the extract from the echinacea plant. That's one way you can get this. Okay, and echinacea, of course, has been used for thousands of years. But believe it or not, there's actually a better source of it, and that is from Rabonogalactans, right? That's from a different tree. So, but that's what we're using there. We have DMG, which again is in the AirMaxx as well, but this is a fantastic ingredient. It's one of my favorite of all time. It does thousands of different things. It's in your system already. It's in every cell. Most people have very low levels. It will actually help with strengthening your immune system, reducing all inflammation, and it will actually help with the absorbability called methylation as well, right? We have some licorice root in here, as we just talked about. We have aloe vera. Again, a lot of people familiar with aloe vera, very calming and soothing the gut. Same with slippery elm. We have this combination of zinc and L-carnosine together has over 25 studies that helps with all different types of stomach issues and healing the gut. Okay, so it's not just zinc and not just carnosine, but together. And we have the herb marshmallow, again, helps very, very calming and soothing. So if you have leaky gut issues, if you have those major GI problems, okay, very simply, we would start with 2 scoops a day of the powder, 1 breakfast, 1 dinner, okay, until you feel better. Usually you feel better within 1 bottle. Once you start feeling better, then we back it down to 1 scoop. If you prefer capsules, 5 capsules is very close to 1 scoop of the powder. Again, though, remember, typically you're limited on space with the capsule, so a powder is always a better option if you can do that. But if you prefer caps, 5 capsules equals 1 scoop. So it'd be 5 with breakfast, 5 with dinner. Okay. So again, if that is you, if that is your situation, if you are having seasonal allergies and gut issues, try this. See if it doesn't make a difference, not only on your gut, but also on your allergies. If you are having stressed out of your mind, having adrenal issues, having trouble sleeping, right? Try the AdrenaMax. Okay. We'll know in 1 bottle, folks. It works that quickly. Okay. So let's review. All right. Obviously, AirMaxx is our focus for seasonal allergies, right? Take the AirMaxx challenge. If you're having trouble at nighttime breathing, try it at night. Even for people snoring, come on down, give it a chance. It's free. If you need additional support in AC, right, such as asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, if the AirMaxx alone isn't working, or if you have environmental issues or heavy metal issues, just taking 2 a day. Fantastic. And if you need additional support, Quercetin will help with many other things that we talked about that it will do. Okay. So again, they're all good options. Again, I strongly recommend to work with Jeff, and he can actually test you to see what your allergies are, to reverse them, and also what formulas would work the best. Okay. So these are just suggestions. All right. So Phil, any questions right now? Okay, so we're good to go, folks. All of these are heavily discounted this whole week. Come on down. We'd love to talk to you. If you have other health issues, come on down. We're here to help, but give this a chance. So, as Spock would say, live long and prosper. Thank you.